I'd like to talk about weight loss. It's one of the toughest things we deal with as family doctors, and it's a huge amount of the population now, getting worse every year. So the first thing is to not blame or shame the patient. It's not their fault. It's really hard to cope with. You can give up cigarettes, you can give up alcohol, you can give up heroin, but you can't give up food. So it's one of the toughest things in the world to do. So I always start with the patient and I'll say, you seem to be struggling with your weight. And is there anything I can do to help you? Now, a lot of people say, no, I'm fine, doc. But some people will say, yeah, is there anything you can help me with? And so I pull up my trusty computer, as always, and I go through the 11 tips for weight loss. And then I give them a copy of that and say, study this, and we'll talk about it a week from now. So they hear me talking, they read it, they hear me talking again. And I go through everything with them and talk about it. So we always start with portion control. If you eat more, you gain more. We look at things like never skip a meal. And a lot of people that struggle with their weight skip meals. They think they can lose weight, but then they're just going to overeat at the next meal. The next thing is pop. Liquid stuff has just as many calories as solid. So fruit juices, smoothies are full of calories, triple, 1,000 calories. I always say dessert only on Sundays, so you don't want to totally deprive people. If you totally deprive people of having fun, they'll just quit. Another thing is, if you're at a restaurant and they bring bread to the table, I always say, get away, Satan, and I make the waiter take away the bread immediately, because otherwise I'll eat the whole thing waiting for the meal. If you're at a fast food restaurant, get the kids' meal, and you also get a prize. Let's see, on my list also, exercise rarely causes weight loss. This freaks out everybody. I always say you should exercise, it's great, wonderful for you, but you have to, be on a treadmill for 8 hours to lose a pound. So you can't sort of go out and play slow pitch and stand on second base and then go and have ribs and a pitcher of beer. Bagels, huge amount of calories. It's like eating a half a loaf of bread. Yogurt, full of calories and sugar. Everybody thinks it's really healthy because it's got a funny name in it. Whole wheat bread has just as many calories as white bread. And every patient I've ever met in my 48 years will argue with me about that. They'll say, oh, whole wheat bread is great. I can eat as much as I want. No, you can't. It's got as many calories as white bread. And you even look at the label. Get rid of snacks in the house so you're not tempted at midnight. Also, if you're watching TV, you tend to eat automatically, which you also do if you're cooking. A lot of people cook and eat at the same time, and when they're scraping the plates, they'll grab some food off and eat it and not even realize. Other things on my list, alcohol, huge amount of sugar and calories in alcohol. So what I say to patients is, start with just eating well. There's no such, diets don't work. As soon as you lose a lot of weight, it'll bounce right back. So if you can sort of shoot for 2 pounds a month, you'll lose 24 pounds a year and you'll keep it off. But everybody in the world wants to lose 20 pounds in the first 2 weeks, and it'll just yo-yo back up again, and they'll weigh more. Another problem is you get really starved in the middle of the night, and you just want to go down and raid the refrigerator. So you're going to do that. So raid the refrigerator for something healthy like an apple or celery or carrots, and not a pie. So those are some tips for weight loss, and I hope they help.